Hey Alpha fam, welcome back to another episode of Alpha Commission. Today I just wanted to do a 5-minute emergency Bitcoin update. I think a lot of you are probably wondering what the heck is going on in the market, and rightfully so, right? We've seen a very intense drop on the charts today, and altcoins are just bleeding. They're just bleeding to death. If you're holding anything, it's probably losing a ton of value as this market goes down, right? Well, yesterday I was pointing out a fractal which I saw playing out, and I was using these diagonal lines in order to develop that fractal. And just was seeing this a flag here, which, in other circumstances you might have said, well, this is a kind of a, you know, bull flag, maybe. And if it breaks out to the upside, then you could see potentially this type of measured move up to, 47,000, 46,000. And a lot of us had that hopium, right? We had that hopium that maybe we could have a pump, just like this pump right here. Just kind of, this drop right here, maybe the mirror image of that could pump up and play out, right? These institutional candles often are recovered on the other side on a horizontal basis, and in this case it wasn't. Well, what made me suspect that it wasn't going to be the case? In fact, I called it live while recording, and we were right here in price action. I said, nope, but this thing's going to come all the way down to my diagonal. It's probably going to catch support here, and then maybe we're going to put in a W and pump up. But this was actually a far more intense drop than I thought. I thought it would be a little bit more staggered on the way down. This was a very intense drop, and that I think was accelerated by the news from Canada, where Canada started to have an executive order. I don't know what they call it in Canada, emergency powers to regulate Bitcoin and prevent it from being used and transferred to different wallets. And they're going to be tracking all the wallets. And even if you're a donor, you might be being tracked by the Canadian government because they have a lot of leeway in the power that they can use. And then, as a follow up, the United States said that they're probably going to be announcing some type of policies, probably more related to stable coins, coming up in March. So that was a double whammy that we didn't really need, on top of the fact that the Western powers are questioning whether Putin actually is pulling his troops back. And the markets are just responding negatively to all of this news. They're just responding negatively. It wasn't what they wanted to hear, right? So this wasn't good. It just there's authoritarianism in the air, there's war in the air, and for the crypto markets, that type of regulation, it's scary until you know exactly what it is. It's kind of scary, right? So this is the fear that's in the market, and it was quite intense. But how did I know it was going to drop? Because if we look at this fractal that's on the other side, we have this we have this type of kind of like a candy cane pattern that played out, and then we had these movements right here, and we had this flag, and right at this flag, this one points downward. If you're looking backwards in time, it points downward, and it has almost a dramatic wick down. So I highly suspected that we would see something similar, where we would get the mirror image fractal of this, because we have a W pattern here. And often in the case of V-shaped recoveries, what happened on the left side ends up happening in a mirror image on the right side. And that's also true of W patterns and M patterns. It just so happens that this one was on a diagonal. It was kind of hidden. It would have been easy to miss. And unless you really scrutinize this, you might have thought we were going to pop up like this side. But in fact, we're playing out this aspect of the fractal, and I broke it down in the last episode why I thought so. And we did catch ourselves right where I suspected that we would. We are 1, 2 boxes down. This was approximately 1, 2, 3 boxes down from this flag, and so I do suspect that we might have another leg down. We might have another leg down, and it might be kind of a wick, sort of like this one. That would bring us somewhere in this area, probably catching support. And then I think that we're probably not going to break too much further down from there. I'm still fairly bullish on the midterm. Uh, this isn't, this news and this environment right now isn't the most bullish environment, and there is a lot of reason to think that we could be playing out a deep bear market scenario. So I'm not going to be, high on hopium, but I am bullish that we are in kind of an uptrend. This is a higher high than this high, and this is going to be a higher low than this low as long as we don't break below this 33K area. So where do I think that we could end up coming in? Well, if you take a look at the fibs and the this type of profile, this type of volume profile over here, we can see that we've been in this area of interest right here, and then there's a couple more areas of interest down here, which lines up with our golden pocket. And right now we're at the 382, which would, if we did bounce from here, that would be fairly bullish. It would be just a standard pullback. And I can show you that on our previous pullback. You see, this is just a 12%, 13% drop, right? Just a 13% pullback. We're just at 13% right now. The market is freaking out, but the same pullback that we had right now is the pullback that led us to a bull run. So why are they so scared? Why are they so terrified? We had a breakout from the summer, right? We were crashing down during the summer. We had a breakout, and then we had a 13% pullback. Crashing during the winter, broke out, and have a 13% pullback. And it's a bullish pullback. It's not like there's nothing bearish about that. Well, we can get all the way down here into this, golden pocket area. Maybe line up with one of these areas, or perhaps, touching both of them, and it'll still be a higher low. It'll still be a higher low. So what might we expect after that? Maybe a higher high. Maybe we do get to that $46,000 area. Maybe it's just a flash wick and we just pump, just pump. Sort of like we did over here. We just pumped. Made another kind of candy cane shape, right? Candy cane shape, candy cane shape, candy cane shape. Each candy cane gets a little bit more compressed, and then eventually it collapses, right? It's just the nature of the market. So I don't want to take too much time on this video, trying to just get that information within a 5-minute period, but of course I usually go over. And so, hey, that was your alpha for the day. Stay safe out there, and happy trading.